Yamawa Kwaba Ediba Fidi, so you are welcome to the Great Owusu Bempa program. So, baby Biara Woshayin Efri Biano, ye best stress as a oba online na wa share video. Ni send ye debia ye no mess stress oba share ede amayen. Na nyamia dom and ye baby didi and komoka krebi, but our topic and our main focus for today is to talk about the dark side of social media. It is a oba online na wa share video no ede amayen. Sometimes ye setup say ya na enye easy. Omo mutumi boa ema ye setup jumedi etumi baso ye technical team ye de aseda ebema sofu ima sofu ben ene Mr. Fante onyankopon bless you mo ewo ejuma pa omo eye eho. Papa yama wakwaba ede ba jumedi so.
Majuso, Mr. Prophet Dr. Dennis.
Yeah, the title
Yami Inshao.
Papa, one lift me. Yami Inshao.
Say, and I'm a doctorate degree in the amount.
Amen. Masumo yesu.
Obedient to me in France.
Masumo yesu dim.
Sanya Yabapa Apostle Dr. Isaac Usman Pabe great, you know.
Amen.
No, I great. No, son, also be great.
Amen.
Na yabeda yetie food na say, omo ma joining a life. Mimi amankwa. Yung NNN Van Dam, Imake, na yada MK, ni yada yankasa yes sound engineer yadi na kufanti wadi njano bebe ya obi ya friend na oto nsaba na nyamisu nhira Mr. Ben they say or Ben collections or two suits na de nche ya be advertisement you say mimi air target and no tagging crofo na yimbi team sem kakra be din komo pa ne be yenhira ama kunedu ama iradi nhira na yanya kwan we so ehira great show for ni na iradi nyom kese
me pacho obi ntage kundigo na ma yensi
obi antage tutujegu mami usua
ejumedie na hyase
montage obia ye hu se maposo obi abo adwuma kama pa enti iradi nhira bibia
so for bless so nyankopon bless so for amomo ene ya brapeni Reverend Nana bibi biara mu wo bia onyankopon bless mu na onye mo kese papa me pese ye kasafa the dark side of social media nenso me pese me no ye hye ase efri baabi na enkomodidi a me pese me no edi ni se papa bi ama ne homne ne so na ose wabobra na owoka wa ye njapade ayeye nioma akọ school edu echi na nioma miense bi a oka wo ni video no so anase ni show ni so I feel say very sensitive enu ntina me pese ye di kan efri ha anka e wo say ye ko direct to the dark side of social media
na nisema ka dark side of social media no
powerful okay nisema kan miensa odi kan ya I think I am very sensitive ninkasa ni bi wo ho no o ma no Lawrence Morris Ampao it threw some lawyer Morris Ampao it threw some indirect attack on Prophet Dr. Isaac Owusu Bempa na ne kasa ni bi wo ho o ma na ye se ensemo a papa echritafo ne papa mba ne nadofo ebe kan ye no ase papa ehyechi na there is a part so okasa ye no o say I have a secret with Prophet Dr. Isaac Owusu Bempa and papa sansem ya okan ye no very sensitive which ya yenim papa so yenim papa na papa message say oni ye bedi enkomo kakra e de afa ho na wa claim media no
ye bedo bibia say before ye beto aso no medical achietie food na me pese me obi ate ase say asem bi e beba no a beba social media so no it is open for scrutinization and the criticisms at a point in time. I just say obi a won kwan say o kire na adwene e wasem bi ho. That is what we call a decorum discourse with effectiveness through scrutinization. Ntenya temdidi bada ya adwenkyere. The fact say obi no obi nya adwene no eno nkyere say wo so obi didi obi atem. Yes. Ntino em say ye papa no sabe waye the lawyer adwuma for some time na so over the past weeks, there was an issue, there was a rumor about Papa prophecy bia or ma during the time of Papa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And you know, there's a gentleman by name C2. And a beka and yemebia and nameneso ama asumdue ba Jubilee House at that time. And as part of the revelation he gave, or beka se papa ma revelation concerning the vice president and the president. And ujina na so Princess Lizzie Wadin Shao, Mimi love Wadin Shao, Mimi Amankwa Wadin Shao. And papa use no as a point of contact at the G vice and Kwesi Hono. Now coincidentally no, sa time no papa ne beka sana papa katwa so no ebe meti the unfortunate sickness of the certain vice president, which is the current vice president. Nana Opokwa Jiman, yes. Internal, I'm saying people tagged in some of papa in that time, with the present situation, and almost start to say as usual, ye did papa them left, right, center, and back. And I think one of the people that trumpeted this particular prophecy or more linked with Nana Ajiman, Her Excellency, lawyer Maurice Ampao. And I listened to him very well with rapt attention. Na in Zambia, Okeka and I'm say great show for no ebe reacted, they retaliated to him some. But unfortunately, the comeback and all that, as I raise up other issues from his side. I feel say as West say, you na ibe to me a discussing ye and pepeyo atu baby eda. One thing I always say is that social media so no say uhunu bribi, ohwe bibi na uti bibia. The best thing to do is to look for how authentic that what you have seen is in order for you to pass any comment about it. What you say, because maybe a lawyer no free said the response from the great show no ankoya mano, so he also came out and threw a few tantrums at both Prophet Isaac Usbempa and the great show. I mean, Obiti Kwame Amo is a senior in whatever that we are doing. I give him much accolade and respect. And some of us, when we hear people saying things about the people we love, we know who they are, so we can come out in the area of defense, not in a bad way, but in a legitimate manner. The same thing applies to Papa Apostle Dr. Isaac Usbempa. Now, let me say this as a statement of fact. Let me for disclaimer when to say, whatever we do here is what we want to do in order to help bring sanity in the Christian body, and most especially around our father, Apostle Dr. Isaac Usbempa. Now, we take sole responsibility for anything
we see,
everything, Imam Shah, everything that happens here on our show. So we are not here to fight, we are not here to argue, we are here to state as it is per what we have seen on the media. So there are people, there will not be a misconstrued or a misconception about Obi tagging people in an evil manner for us to feel say sanko for we the omonye papa na so me papa for no. So Kwame Amo is a man I respect. I heard a few things lawyer Kanya for say. I don't know whether he set them out of pain because of the retaliation that came. Of course, I told the Biana a very agitative. Say Udnimo Papa na on can be no be bejin and wesi boni. There have been series of instances like that. But I would plead, I would beg with the media team and as well the legal counsel of Prophet Isaac Usbempa say, in our humble opinion, I think say it is about time say necessary actions are taken. The Biana Meka say lawyer Daniel, my cousin, not even a distant cousin, a very close cousin. You understand? So I know his capabilities. I know what he can do. We know who the old man is. There are many times, sometimes when the action is being taken, Papa will be sometimes like, it's okay, let it go. But we need to learn how to take drastic measures behind his back in order to cover up his reputation. Because before our earlier fights that came, there were so many defamatory words from people. When you try to go in there and, reply to them, and I remember us at that time, we kept on telling the team, the legal team, no, these are matters we need to take on because it defames Papa. No, it brings him to his lowest point in ministry. Papa will be if not by the grace and the anointing over his life, because there is no man of God, there is no prophet that has suffered accusations, lambast, and criticisms like Apostle Dr. Isaac Oswempa. The whole in Africa. Ye kasofo ye kan ho asem pa e ono. And the quite unfortunate part is that Uncle can be near Bekano. And Papa is somebody that everybody knows, say, or a no-nonsense person. And most especially when you want him to feel like he's scared of you. I mean, he will give it back to you. I mean, he has fought a whole political party many times. They fought him and he fought back. He's a man that stands to fight his battles without scares or being afraid or fearful of anything. Until I met this will be kase or being a kuma papa, then I realized you don't know what you are talking about. Because this is a man when he speaks on radio, it will be everywhere and everywhere on Facebook. Until I can't be able to me a casamana quechira and your mess of a betty and yes of wamo and your bibia and your blogger bia. It is he himself. But I won't say, oh, you know, and you may be no more, then you be true grace. The man is growing in love and compassion. And it is very good, say every prophet has that character. You know, Maminka when into us, then we'll watch a video, then we come back. Time I started profession, people did not understand us. A lot of people were lambasting and crying, Casado do Manoya. But our principle was simple: guarding the fortress of the prophetic ministry. It is a ministry we are growing into.
That's true.
And if we decide not to protect it, somebody will destroy it. Because in Kofobe bring to prophetic ministry, I say. You understand? Yeah. Now, when we left, people were criticizing. You say Facebook Live professional. Then we saw the likes of Prophet Adum Chedria. I mean, we brought about this defense. It is everywhere. Now, Sophobia and one more, the Martinez defending. Apart from me, I need to defend the Prophet Isaac Oswempa. Tell me who does that. There was nobody. And I love one time we had a meeting. Prophet Micaiah said something. He watched it and said, I wish I had sons like you. I mean, that can stand behind me as a father. They wouldn't allow me to talk and they would talk for me. A basa, your father cannot be recorded anywhere. Or whatever he wants to say, you must say it for him. Nobody would sit down and want anybody to throw tantrums at the spiritual father and the biological father. So we acknowledge the great show for the great work they are doing in defense of Prophet Isaac Osman. But we are also doing the little that we can in order for Papa to also be guarded and also blessed in a way. Until sir, I didn't the bar system aboa. And as we speak today, it works everywhere. It is everywhere. Everybody is in defense. I mean, when it comes to kingship, chieftaincy, somebody is talking for somebody in order for that person to hold his or her peace. Until that is a wrap up of what actually happened. So after the great show, Dr. Morris, right? Morris Ampao is back again with some words, and I would want us to listen to the things that he said with rapt attention. Then we'll pinpoint out a few things, then we'll come back and discuss it. So we'll give credit to the Movement TV, right? Going to be TV, The only thing I'm scared of, let's say, I would plead with that particular radio and TV station. Because when him say, before the elections, personally, what I knew was that Papa was in very good terms when it comes to coming back together with the MPP. I've told you, nobody can take Papa out of the equation when it comes to the outcome of elections in Ghana. When he says it is yes, it is a yes. When he says it's a no, it is a no. Thank you, Tulip Nyamisha. Tino, he was almost in alignment, apart from everything that happened, the pain he went through and all the things that he lamented about. Makana so many times that the things Papa said was not to tell the public that he should be exempted from any form of law that should work or speak against him when he goes against the law. What he was saying is that even a prisoner has his right and privilege, and some of these rights were tempered upon, they were trampled upon, and that is what he voiced out for the fact that there were masked men, there were cars that came to where he was laid at the hospital when the number of or the plate of the car was the plate of a car that had engaged in an accident for the person to die. You see, and I've told you that anybody that is part of the security system knows that there are operations they do without traces. And that is why they don't take their real car numbers. So it is only God that knows what would have happened to Papa Isaac Oswempa that particular night. So he has every right to voice such things out. In other situations, some might even want to pursue it and take it to court or something because they feel that their life was in danger at a point in time. But they make what I say. not on cast you know, but it be an right to be infringing on no, and now man any other day.
Even the prisoner has a right.
Exactly. He has full capacity to the right that is governed or governs us in the country. What I say, a prisoner has a right. So you know, I'm saying the outcome is on the man buy it now. Na enya ahomeka anything a man kasa at that time. But this same TV station and radio station, something strange happened. In Kofowi Kotnao, the dead papa, Ebikraka says, Omodo Moka beto swen. Me, the man Papa is the I know, no. He is not somebody you can dare or enter into some kind of a bet with. Yes. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. He is somebody on pay challenge. Don't challenge him. And it's a police in your show. Don't challenge him. Respect, give him honor, let him know that he knows his work. And you know that he will deal with you nicely and he will let you go. I know my right. I will never bounce now shame. Adia police in Chiano. So what I say. So a lot of things happened on that particular platform, and it didn't go well with the outcome of the election in connection with the MPP. Trust me, some of us were born into MPP. MPP is in our bloodline. It's in our lineage. I can tell you for a fact that Papa has never been an NDC man. Neither has he been an MPP man. But I'm sure his family members have a particular affiliation with the MPP. So there was this soft spot when it comes to MPP. Yes. But you see, the aggravation was too much. The agitation was too much. For that matter, he said on Mary Potter when it happened. I believe especially the MPP are doing very well this time, checking or doing checks and balance, looking at both physical and spiritual things that did not go well with them for them to make their corrections. So if we have anything to do, check your spiritual part. Who was your spiritual father? I mean, with the likes of going to other spiritual fathers that still did not work well with you. This is the time for you to bring everybody together. So God can help you in the coming years for you to be able to win power. This is not the time to attack these same spiritual leaders again. And I must say, I didn't really watch the kind of words that the Grace Show people use, but they had every cause to be angry. I mean, Papa can be a wakansan and he didn't attempt. And later, lawyer would say, or also, I don't know if he heard from OutTV. I heard say OutTV before I issue apology and all that. But I asked myself that, what is the fundamentals of data collection in this country? Blogging is not the same as journalism. I've said this. Blogging is only part of journalism, but this time people have ignored the whole process of journalism and they're into full blogging. They jump into conclusion and they do all manner of things. And appalling.
Even with the blogging, at least you should have a truthful information before.
Yes, you need to have authentic information before you pass it out, because the minimum is passing out information that is not true. It's also against the law. I'm saying extract, please check. It's also against the law. So please, I beg each and everyone, if today is your first time that you are joining us live, kindly like the page, the page, and love the page for us so that it can be a blessing over your life. We have a few things to discuss. So, as time goes on, it's going to be a blessing to all of us. And you know, I don't know.
Send the Papa Khan, you know. There is a lot to discuss today. Intimation about online. I know what share video, no. Bear me the Senka technical team, you know, able play video. Lawyer Morris Ampao.
Yeah, so that was his comeback after Prophet Show for the buy. So the issue is say, you say Momotia say, Odi kind can say, Papa say vice be. I mean, he was a bit tribalistic about it, you know, that tribal bigotry stuff, or the koho, or we no sambe can fantasy assembly. These things are not necessary. But after Prophet Show for the bar out, he came out again, and I want us to address a few things. And say, he can place that on the screen for us as we digest our video on it quickly.
The second video.
Yeah.
What they have to do is to Lampao. Say Lampao evu. Na niwa na we jade. If I be so if I say I respond one by one, I want to use one pass on the big group. A big group. What I say? And now, me Papa, I better say me that tell. Me that tell me respond, but me tell, but the best I don't know say Papa. Why ya me juma che? Odo me simpini Mr. Penny. Me brother ketua no wo. So I say, hey, Mr. Penny. And my bob blatchel because when it comes to education, my kobenim abobra. You must buy you. Go and see my records. Youth president in my church. I hear the minute when be. Now yet here so they go so the medjuma. And I only my anointing me carry. Who's reporting my anointing me carry. Now maybe I don't want to go into details, but advice I mean about my who's party say. Don't think say you must sacrifice it. I do my way also. But I think say it's better for him to me to advise because me say me will him or say oh be any man you did not come who also pay him both physical and spiritual. When it comes to physical age wise no that cheap me cheap back too. When it comes to education my school channel. When it comes to personality, I'm your personality channel. When it comes to anointing, I'm anointing also channel. When it comes to every area, see council I'm with channel. And I don't know area which will be able to be beating me. It's because of that, no. We need to be now in their channel. You did not them. It's my brother. Ketua afone me di kai afone be beda ketua ba fone me fone no ndi na tem the body di kan asem no na enye true to the best thing na say me say o friend no asem gi tum say oh and I'm not for misleading me a fake information about you into no platform we so me so kai no asem go back to that platform. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, who's going to say, but people are calling you fake. You just don't know me a fake report to come out. The trouble. There's these same people that say, they know. The trouble, the just like RTV, so come out, because the way I'm going to do that, my platform, because this is also better time. We used to empower the platform, maybe defending the girl from you, some million reason, but me defending, me defending. On a gather be defending. Even by we say MPP for both no platform so be defending. Means that they been born so been papa been born money. But papa no one shows enemy one show maturity. One show say who and one show say who so or I don't say women and yes no ninjeni bakufo tim. Etina even yes, Prado, or yeah, they say letters. So you consult. If you are sorry, you also be our board of board of directors, and also be a church council, and David Crowell, I to fair. But Papa, I'm not too for. Say, the entire who's one part, why you don't do my check? That's how struggle with the new man. We see a seminar. Two solo, I saw that for so many years, 30 years, it's going to be see. And if also there be no issues, and I'm all for. I say, to the next so you how you do what them no, and you be out. And yeah, because what you with a soft kitty, I'm more bright. Obits a quam amu. Anybody so much matemi omunyano omunya kwala when you trauma in spiritually no we high trauma physically when you trauma when the so no o come do do no ma be do na be do mo kwam mo no ye journalist o akwala o ye we when say kwam mo ye we Abeku Santana small boy small boy e dey say only obi a ye mu wo we OKFM enti no o ko fa dipa we na ye no o counselor and the boys on the phone with the material no na sama ba who good counselors are. That's not how they handle it, but the way they descended to the gutter ɛkɔbɔ mi din didi na tɛn pɔtɔpɔtɔpɔtɔ ɛtɛn so relationship mi ni wɔn no nneɛma mi ni wɔn yɛ no a sika bɛ pie mu no wɔn ti hɔ ɛka sɛ remember bɛ didi sika wɔ hɔ you see how foolish I don't see I'm getting to my element God brought me back but you see how I regret the word foolish but boy see nimdie a wɔn nim ti no wɔn nso bɛ pa wɔn ma wa sɔrɔ no ɛgya di money because kɔmi ɛmu mu saa program ɛmu yɛ nyia no it was not necessary because nso mpa many wɔ no nyama ya yɛ ɛwɔ su mu nyama ya yɛ a many to be oh you see ya se no ɛ obi a wɔ secret eti na you can't govern you can't move on in this life when you don't have a secret eti yɛ fɛ bi confidential information a relationship lawyer ni only o client bɛ kan no a secret wey confidential yɛn ka doctor patient yɛn ka employer relationship yɛn ka eti no yɛ wɔ asɔre mu secret yɛ wɔ state secret yɛ wɔ ɔman biara wɔ secret ahemfie yɛ wɔ secret eti no so obi bɛn wɔn no yɛ biribi a ɛsɛ wɔn ma no bu na open your mouth bibi ketewa bi na o de nia nipa na wayɛ no deɛ wɔn mu tɛmu na bɛtɔ abɔnten esuro sɛ wɔnyɛ matured it's about the side nobody will trust you the reason why presidents unim usahuro ni mpanyinfoɔ tu sɛ didi ni yɛ wɔn mu du na wɔn kasa ba hata ne turu na mpa mi tu yi ɛna sɔfo a mene mu relationship a nyɛma mene Ghana sɔfo ɛyɛ wɔ suma se ɛne sika asɔfo mame no ne ma mu din Ghana sɔfo ɛna wɔhwɛ yɛ Ghana fɔ sɔfo ɛsɔ seed mehu obi a yɛsɔ seed in a life than me asɔfo titi a ɔmo sɛnim sika ebi hu me na no ɔmo sɛ na yɛpɛ wasɛm gye airport my account na yɛ sika tumu etu de sika tu my account mu na menim me fra a sɛ na mehu sɛ ɔsɔfo wo na ɔda tumu bibo dia na wahwɛ na sɛ ɛbɛma eni abɔ mo but I have more than 20 past ministers of God all over the country and outside the country and give me money I don't beg for money me no hie me no be ɔkɔmɛ dɛbɛ na bɔ bra 57 years na sisi mi dan baako na enim ɛsɛ nnan ma totɔ mi cars ɔkɔmɛ ntɛmɛ na ɔma baako 8 na ehwɛ nia ne na nia gu abukyire program mi yɛ yi ne wie every program mi yɛ every day bi ami wie mu agbɛtɛ wo nia no ne ɛkɔm bɛtum ɛnkɔ kyɛ ba ho tumi hɔ ɛnkɔ studio I don't lack. Look, in my lifetime, no, I've never borrowed before in my lifetime. Go and check the banks. Because I live within my means. That's what I live. Me you're for but no papa now no or class but me the teaching me so they are for but me. So I live simple lifestyle. I drive simple car, I stay in simple place. That's me. I go to Accra, I go to my Sukula base, my Choco base. That's why I play it down so man. That's me. When I say, baby, and the corner move to us, no coming court. We want to come and move. Boss, come despite. I'm a boss of others. For Dixie, me, my uncle, Miss Yomo, true, of others. Samari to be any of the several issue. Me don't call to my court. I consume for contempt of court. Me na lampa ba ko jira ho. Amu finance ba ko 6. We do rise in here to form. Come on, you know this. So me the peace me the station. Boss.
Video no. Wa utie bia no me gidi se uti emunsem. The reason why Papa me so touch say me pese okasafa asem hu ne say this is a man ni show bi okotena Paul Adom Ochre program so ɛna yɛbisa ne sɛ ɛnyɛ wo na wokaa sɛ NDC ba power wobɛtu ɛfiri kuro no mu ɔse meka nsɛm bi for political reasons sɛndeɛ me party ɛbɛtumi aba bɛwini. It was a campaign strategy. That means this man can say anything, whether he can say anything that is even lies, just to keep his credibility.
All right. Quite unfortunate now. Mesre Obia say man close sound. Mesre Obia say there are some issues that we need to tackle them tactically. Na enyentokwa enyatembibi.
Me pacho share won say ne papa atwe ne pen.
Won say ma twe me pen and na ma tro nyeme bia jotted a few things down. Me ka Obia say the reason for this response was that obey a video be aka say sebe papa abo vice president ewuto and or the lambaste papa in the area of the prophetic ministry and Emma great show for no be reply so for more and then so for David I think so and so for Esiama and also for Nana Krobia. So I think the response that came didn't really go well with him. That is why he came to say all these things. Now, me find a new and based on what people have listened, it's quite a long video, but Obi Obeshe Biano would get to this understanding. Say some of the things he said. They say he was talking about maturity. Or say he's elder than Papa. Na sebe Papa or no ba mienu. Yes, and he made mention of his age. The number of children he has, 8 children, and for the fact that people should go to his banks and he's not owing advert on your Movement TV now, it comes to his pocket. We know the money soprano of all these things. I mean, how he's trying to present himself is he wants to feel like he's making a point not in connection with Movement TV, that is with the MPP, but he's doing his own thing. You understand? Or try to build the people's mentality in the area, say, if you find me doing something, and yeah, Movement TV, and yeah, Papa, Chairman Moon to me and the team. But of course, you know what? Say, if it grows up, you can't come and do any program or you can't have any production without the knowledge of the owner. If you want your station to be on truth and accuracy, the manager should be aware of whatever that is happening at the particular place. So I thought he saw an opportunity to diminish the glory that had come to Papa after the election because he threw a challenge. No munasi MPP be winning. Ono kwad was in Kobe to akwa to go. Okay, so the challenge failed. Ono the boss, Chairman Munchimi, somebody I love so much. Mayokuntai, now was it Mayokuntai? Yeah. So he also threw many challenges. Emma Papa can't be. It was because of Chairman Munchimi na Papa can't say, oh yeah. Me to me car about Santi region. Na moya rough 40% gramunya. And he came to reply to that particular word say, so usbempa anye careful or ye bema unto ne car and famra Ashanti region. And of course after the elections, MPP for 40%. Quite unfortunate. You see, these are statements of fact. These are standards that we are seeing by visualization. You say ye boy team Akabibi. You understand? People that speaks for our radios and our TVs, we have to be careful with the kind of people we allow to come and speak. One thing I know when they say, if you are a boss, don't hire somebody that is bigger than you. You see, somebody that feels someone you're bigger than you, because you can't control such people. When you tell them to do one thing, they will do the other thing. It's better say you raise or you bet people from the scratch for them to become what they have to become, because so what's a video we are from the starting or can be or say a met trend the power. That is what he said. Yes. And then someone can met trend the power. Is it only about the trend? We have 20 people watching us. Is it a crime? By the end of the week, sometimes we come and 9 people are watching, but maybe 3,000 views, 4,000 views.
You make out there.
Exactly. And we are looking at what is coming from the people and what they are benefiting from. I can say something, that all the bloggers in the city can pick it up tomorrow morning and it will be trending. But is that necessary? So when the person sits down, the ideology is that I will trend. You see, trend here. Then you realize, we are having half truth half lie and total nonsense. Because nipa ni him say enana Ghana for day epe. So now he comes to a point and now begins to say Owusu Bempah no enye bibia enka meye ne ho adwuma pa, meye ne ho adwuma ne enka meye ne ho adwuma pa. But again, there is a force of resiliency, or he being a bit resilient, and I don't know where it's coming from. Perhaps somebody has told him, say, Oba nyabotre, do amababe blasto, but don't go further until I'm reading through his minds and through his speeches. Now, you don't see the head and tail of whatever he said. Somebody will ask, it's a question, a rhetorical question. Was he speaking under duress? And I say, he didn't know what to present at this time because he felt he goofed. Because nipa bayakono, you are not happy with the response that came from the person that you have offended. The same person who accepted say why a mistake. So some of the things he spoke about was maturity. His elder is older than Papa. Or a penny na chiba miene Papa. And he now speaks of education. Lord God, he speaks of education. Say wako school chain Papa. You see, I believe so much in education. But what I hate and I dislike is when people want to use their educational background as a yardstick, as a means of superimposing on others because they feel they have gotten where or gotten somewhere. Now, the person you are educated, Dano, or Meka Wasem, or no national income, and you decided to pick it up and refer it to another person, and that is where you landed up in the gutters. With all quote and respect, I'm speaking a bit ironical. My name Fabibia in plain language. Nipana onko school no. Dingtena ofana no mu asem chichi mema wako school. There is no need to do that. So for you to get to that point to pick up the person's words and decide to link it up with somebody is the first point that you goofed. So speaking about education, we know we have the formal and the informal ones. So what has your education brought to the table? Because you are being held at the point not to use some words. Some of them you even use them and still say, oh yeah, sorry, and come back and all that. Or come back and front. Now he begins to speak about, I want everybody to take note of this. Or say, both physically and spiritually, or he's bigger in the realms of the spirit. Now he begins to say things like, time I know school crano. He has worked very hard for God, and Owusu Bempah himself knows the kind of power that is upon his life. Now, my problem is that if he has ever been in ministry, when you look at ministerial ethics, we address people by their titles and with respect. The way I know address Papa and Krano, and we I can't blame him. He will be in the background and where they are actually coming from. So he now says, I want everybody to take note of this part. Also, spiritually and physically, he is ahead of Papa. Then the same point of countering what great show for one kind, he now comes to money. He says, I'm richer. You see, moving out of context and content just to say something at the point in time to cover up your mistakes and your errors. You see, the comeback of the great show concerning the damage that you have given to their father could have been, say, my brothers and sisters, I know I goofed because our TV4 also had their share, but they didn't come back to insult. Rather, they accepted their error and they moved back. Here again, as somebody that is talking about his money that he has, he's talking about his profession, his educational background. Now, my simple question is that the reason why I made mention in the first instance that anytime you are employing somebody, watch the person you employ. Now, between Yankasaya Papa, Maurice Ampao, and the Yankasaya Ura, Chairman Wuntumi, who is more educated? So you see, he sees education as a yardstick to triumph over other people. So how would his boss...
Indirect message for his
exactly,
boss.
that even my boss cannot tell me what to come and do. So now he speaks about adverts that comes to his pocket, not to the pocket of the boss. He's not even acknowledging him as his boss.
Yes.
You see, we all have to be trained from homes. Now, I know some can be there's a probability, say, somebody would pick up one or two from what I've said and try to misbehave around Prophet Isaac Owusu Bempah. Because you're opening portals for people to enter and attack movement TV. Because Kwame Yamua Minimono, as I walk say, oh yeah, Abeku Santana Aquarano. I know there was a joint corporation somewhere. That was when Omoye program and friend yes. I mean, he can also launch some attacks on Chairman Wontumi, and it will not be fine. You understand? Let's not open rooms for these things. Let's all come to a point, if we really love the MPP party and we have platforms in order to showcase great things, let's do it now. We have 4 years ahead of us, and think of how our MPP can come back to power. What you must say? Say
na power ne de papa de be mo di.
Papa is the me, I'll be happy if the power returns back to MPP, because me, my family, everything is full MPP. I wouldn't hide it. Say he's now richer. Who is talking about money here? You've made a statement about somebody, from the way you spoke, they spoke. If you are still on the peace treaty to bring peace, you should find a way to bring about the peace. They wouldn't come back to say anything again. What you say? Because this was the first time I said this. I met me a lawyer say, Obeka maybe sa Obeka papa sem, a mani kunya accident, and he came to the church and even gave a testimony to it. Until the first time I will come be a enya no cre about Papa Isiko Usubempa. I'm a son my way 9 days. Exactly. We'll come there. Exactly. So he now says he's more richer. We're seeing if or about 4 houses. That's what he said, right? I stand to be corrected. We're trying cars and all that. But from the initial stage, he was speaking about Senko for Bonawuto, not Uwu and Fasobe no Benye Freeman, Bibian one my we was. So I know somebody will say, all these things are vanity. They are necessities in life. But in the context of argument, talking about the real content on the ground and the situation we are dealing with, nobody is interested in Lawyer Ampere's money or what he has built and what he has. Yes. Papa has not opened a challenge with him. There is no challenge. Say, Morrison Papa, the over bra, or no tiny baby no abekanasem, and Akofa we naba. So talking about money and the cars and the houses you have built is also out of context. Then I come back again to say he accepted, say he has goofed. So it's like whooping yourself in the ass and still trying to throw dust in somebody's eyes. Now, if I accept that I have goofed by insulting your father, if you insult me back, about your tit for tat. Yes, you have lied against somebody's father. And on the bus deal before I do what, oh son, may I very sorry. That
is when you are very mature.
Yes, so he has accepted that he has goofed. Because on what to say, na sabe onya information na wrong. Na nkrofo onya information if from was RTV, and the same RTV for no kase sabe were free, because I saw that post and I can give people the proof. In as much as he said all these things about Papa, I asked a friend who posted and said, are you sure about this thing? Come on, don't be playing like that. We can't be joking like that in this country, because obi one more obi we and obi we any day. But what am I saying? It's no. And no so now I was saying once you know you have goofed, there's no need fighting back again. What am I saying? That is what we call accepting that you have goofed and still whooping your ass and trying again to throw dust into people's eyes. So now the pressure becomes intense. He's talking about his age, 57 years of age. The children he has, he says he has 8 children. He does adverts, and he's now even saying we should go to his bank and go and check he's not owing.
Who
owns? No, how can
permit letter?
How can you owe from a bank? And how could you loan a No, I mean if you are saving with the bank and you are usikasa, unless of course it be our loan baby na anymore. So there is no consistency somewhere. Why? Because pressure them. So now,
I won't say because on your media person,
no, he's working on a radio station now. He's not into media. I mean, media, and from the scratch, he accepted the fact, say, he is there to trend. He has been in this thing for a very long time. You have to be mindful of the things you are saying, because people are listening and they will depict one or two. You see, baby, or a very big mistake. You are going to hear it right now. On one and I know, say, Minister Dennis, you are smart and you get to know about it. Now, he moves swiftly to the attacks on Osofo Kwame Amu again, because, as usual, he hosted the program, and Osofo is somebody that defends Papa with passion. Like I say, or a small boy, or more bra, or a nyamini pa, but on a crow, muniso nyamini pa, but ni nyansa, unim nyansa, usa bibisa.
Anointed.
Too painful. because on also I anointed, but say I can say emphatically say Sofo Kwame Amu is somebody God is using very powerfully. He has been at so many programs.
I've been
he has been in our church.
ministrations
Yes,
a
he
couple
has
of
been
times.
there. And God is using mightily. But you know, sometimes you expect the same slap from the level of slap you took out. He's a media personality and he knows how to punch you for you to also feel the pain. So he should have understood, say, there are principles in the media and journalism sector. When you can't be there, don't go there. You better exit. Me, I know what you can say to me about me. I know what to say to you about how it will trend. I know what to do to you. You will not be happy about it. You understand? Because it's all part of the media game. So if you're not ready, don't come and play on the media. So you realize, as I say, you know, as why you're too emotional about the whole thing. You know, he speaks, he breaks, he fumbles, he stammers, and all that. All these things are there's an issue somewhere. Then, baby, I'm a free baby or kind say, again on maturity, he said he's done with Papa. So many things secretly that brought about money. And he said, Papa, man, about Kokasomu be fio be unso babe or bow near money scar na bibia. I can't talk about this one, but I don't know what they said that triggered what he had to say. Yes. And I'm not sure that it is a dubious work. The issue is that what can be any say okay. Now I'm sure they established that point for people to understand. Say you have access to the man, you know the church, you have his number. So he is now speaking of confidentiality. Say, oh, Papa, do be ni asema na bibi onuma na nu nyedru no ababeka. Now I'm asking him a simple question. When you saw that video, why didn't you call Prophet Isaac Osmempa? If you are an astute lawyer, now with the confidentiality dear, you could have made a simple call. Papa, the video be say, what is the origin of that video? Why did you say that? You didn't. You picked up a blog from a same blog that is now saying you are dead. What you are saying? In order for you to go and lambast the man, you could have called. You could have asked him, Papa, now cancer same way. Think now cancer. A ban say now cancer. Oh, Morris, me too catch but yes how say. Then as usual, so now cancer the platform it defend the Papa no. You come out in the defense form to do what you have to do for him. I don't believe there is any secret meeting or secret business Dr. Lawrence Ampao, lawyer Maurice Ampao has with Prophet Isaac Osmempa. The only time I meet him when our issue came, that is when I went to the house and I saw him for the first time. And he wanted to come and do something concerning the matter because he felt, say, there was some kind of blackmail. I don't want to go there too much, but he did a few things. I can applaud him concerning that. I saw them on the media. He did a wonderful job by speaking his mind to the public, which it wasn't free. No, nobody does anything for free. So I don't know if it's the kind of business he's talking about. It wasn't free. It wasn't free because I was there and I saw what happened. Okay, and the man is free and they wanted to point it out. And I said, oh, access. You come there. If you have to do something for the man, you do it. The man was even at the point, there were issues on media and why it has to do with money and all that. You see, there are some things. Now you are proclaiming to the public that you are a big man, you are rich. So sometimes when we are angry, let's be careful with the things we say. When you're careful, be add it up with what you have. What you are saying doesn't look like you are working under leadership. It looks like you have your own package, you have your own strength, you are your own boss, but you are just craving for a platform to talk. I want to see, it's a prophecy I'm giving. Yes. As somehow can be a big prophecy. Papa. And I want people to see it from that picture. Just like October 6th prophecy. Exactly. You are talking about Papa because of Chema Untimi now Kase. Advert be a Barbie and it comes to my pocket. No. He could have been smart. Nanka the RTV kind rather than wa discipline on giving false information and rather end the whole fight by apologizing to Papa Vempa for saying what is not true. When we went to how do you call it? Abi TV. Okay. We're given only a 2 months contract. Right? Okay. Now when I was going to Abi TV, I was known on the media. I was known everywhere. People know me. Let me tell you the honest truth. I am one of the first people that interview people like Prophet Emmanuel Jabba on Facebook. I was one of the main and the first people that had constant Facebook lives with Prophet Abiyam Pomadanso. My catch was said before Glorious Word and Power Ministries, I started on media work fully. I was the first person with Prophet Nana Kwesi and you got first iPad at the match. So that time Richie and I sorry on the best setup my wifi. The last time maybe do a better into the first video a peer-free Glorious Word and Power Ministries on the internet was because of us. Yeah, the iPad and the so that time you used to switch her up. That was the same time when National Chief Remember some the buy, okay, so Kofi Adamo when the bear we also streamed and we all had 1 point something K to go, 1 point something K to go. You understand? There are people, but when I was going to Abi TV is software man Ujabadia. But everybody there, I had to humble myself there and work like a nobody. So we had an extra 2 months. We had an extra 2 months. And the last time I heard, they said, work indefinitely. When you are tired or we are tired, we cancel the contract. And I knew that contract couldn't have been cancelled. Why? Because the first year presentation, Nipana no a producer say, have you done this thing somewhere before? Well, they didn't recognize me saying I'm here ABS of Beji. What is it? But ABS later until guys make the next meeting here and say they were speaking amongst each other and all that. Because when we're doing the professional, we had so many offers from different places to come and work on people's platforms. But I was one person, I was working for Prophet Isaac Owusu-Bempah because of professional, and that was it. I didn't want to go anywhere. And to date, I don't want to be anywhere. But Abi TV, gave us a standard for a new program we're breeding into the system. And we wanted to learn more about TV in the Sunday man, so we had to be there. And we want to thank God for the life of Prophet Emmanuel Jabba and all the team. So it was on contract basis. It could have been cancelled at any time. But God was so faithful to us. Just speaking on the area of confidentiality, he could. Because nanka ho na obetumi afre papa no first ebusa me shall not don't what shall ebusa na se papa asem we wo kan sen sana bia me so me koka bi o me sana mesify dey makano. He's not a journalist, he's not a blogger, he is a lawyer. Yes, he's a lawyer. And your man platform say not on kasa about law and I say about general issues, so he need a host that will direct his program. And yes, sir, you end up stepping on so many toes. Because what does Papa Isaac Owusu-Bempah's declaration, even if it is connected with the sitting vice president, got to do with law? Law now watch and then we'll start here now church. A business Papa Sam buy or say a buy no be carry because yes, that has to do with law. I am ra so be so this is where you come in. There are many issues on the media that people don't understand their rights and privilege when it comes to the implementation of law, that he can be there to be teaching these things. But so be a shame comes so be you. Now funny panon wakojama or wabe presenting in a bad way. No when you're lambaster. You should know how to connect to this.
A lot of things to talk about, content to talk about.
A lot of them. A lot of them say Vim Lady if you're pokia. She speaks about law most of the time. So we want genuine issues about politics and work. But I know say he's also into politics as well, and at the same time he's also into law. What you say? But don't say buy a binion. What's say NDC we near Ubetu ako in fact. Togo. A buy and what two? On tree.
Also you are anointed.
Also ebi ako kadia. Ebi ono kan say come share. You see, so where he goofed again, and I'm person about say after imanko bo video ni my first or say a bus spiritually and physically. I had a trap on a chibila. Obia me trap on a chibila. Yes, or say physically and spiritually, or when you much papa. Na fe munti assembly one lawyer ebesanka.
Me patron play video FMI.
What munti?
Don't want to go into details, but advice I mean man Owusu-Bempah say. Don't think say obe sacrifice but do my war so. But I think say it's better for him to need to advise boss. Me say me won nim. O say o obi anima. Ye did that them. Who the nim who name me work. Also nim both physical and spiritual. When it comes to physical age wise no that chiba me chiba too. No. When it comes to education, my school channel. when it comes to personality, I'm your personality channel. When it comes to anointing, I'm anointing as a channel. When it comes to every area, sika so I'm Oscar channel. And I don't know area which we probably be beating. And because of that, no. RTV so come your mouth because the way I'm did what I'm but me my platform me could this also be platform we also my platform have me the defending Ghana phone him say me also me defending no me defending no on that grad be defending no even we for say MPP for bu funu no platform so me defending no me nja be bimbo also be papa dimbo money but papa no one stress enemy one show maturity one show say who no and one show say who so no or even say a woman and you also know Indian ni bakufo team entina even don't want to go into details but advice I mean never man also empathy say don't think say ube sacrifice wa do my wo so unfair like me ba genuine tuma. But I think say it's better for him to need to advise boss. Me will say me will nim. Oh say who be any man. You did that them. Who the nim who name me work also pay nim both physical and spiritual. When it comes to physical age wise no that chi ba me chi back too. Oh when it comes to education my school channel. When it comes to personality I'm your personality channel. When it comes to anointing I'm anointing as a channel. When it comes to every area, sika so I'm Oscar channel. And I don't know area which we probably be beating. And because of that, no. RTV so come your mouth because the way I'm did what I'm but me my platform me could this also be platform we also my platform have me the defending Ghana phone him say me also me defending no me defending no on that grad be defending no even we for say MPP for bu funu no platform so me defending no me nja be bimbo also be papa dimbo money but papa no one stress enemy one show maturity one show say who no yin and one show say who no so no or even say a woman and
Sofo Dr. Isaac Owusu-Bempah bra penyin se owo wenyi ewo hu
nti wo se start no
wabo abegu na chi wase papa wenyi wo hu
o ze contradiction and I make say I don't know who he wanted to please. Damage control no, it was too big for him to do. To answer on one and I make say yeah I just say kasi few. And I don't know what the great show people will bring tomorrow, but with him, that group is a group. Don't play with. Yes, yeah, squad boys now. Small boys, no. Don't try it because o start take kasa in baby. O fini baby abe ende. Dipa baako from the scratch. O say o enim. Ewo hu ni honam chen papa Isaac Owusu-Bempah. After the last minute, o say after crowd there, papa Owusu-Bempah. Now o so de ni tum nyeme bi. Because whom wanim so what you say let us say whom was our dear to say or when you chant now we expect some kind of maturity from him
now kasa na mano no kasa e ba and so when you chant
and near there no so or contradicting and this is when you have to do a damage control which is beyond your capacity. I will plead yede Maurice Ampao lawyer Maurice Ampao, I'm giving him that accolade and respect. Please, you should give that respect to Prophet Isaac Owusu-Bempah. Sabi say akwadebu penny na penny so ebu akra. So when you change Prophet Isaac Owusu-Bempah now, ministry-wise, when it comes to ministry, talking about impact, I mean you can speak about the lives of Prophet Ajiman Kwesi Prempemo, Prophet Alexander Chum, even Prophet Isaac Anto, Bishop Elisha Salifu Amwako. These people have received prophetic impartation from Prophet Isaac Owusu-Bempah, and you are nowhere near them. I mean, you are talking about SS, SU, and this animal. We've all had SUs and all that. Please, we beg him, with all respect, We beg him. Next time, when you accept your fault, accept it and don't come and throw tantrums again. Kwame Amo and all these people are very respectable people. They are thinking about themselves. Let's allow the name of the man to rest so they can also rest. When you throw rubbish and gibberages to their places, they might be tempted to throw it back. Or don't forget, said that day, together with our TV, no more boom. We are in the program, we are in the program. You dip a pattern everywhere. TikTok, baby, and uncle for framing. Now they are not papa carry and all that. All because one person decided to mislead the public. And I would not say it wasn't intentional. It was very intentional because it was a long video. But you had to cut one part. You defame people. You come back again and apologize. Meanwhile, you have made up your coins already. In the name of trend. Makasa di wachemo bloggers. We have to be very careful because one sikani do benya no. Let's be very careful how we amass money for ourselves. Quite fast when you scam careful. Sabe. Untumi found some meaning a day. NDD. Nepo bibiacho. Obibi obeka say no munim na there be obina intentionally. Say before election. No be a shadak of papa voice. No one running over. No, I mean a whole lot of things. And these people will come and sit down and I saw somebody throwing tantrums or to challenge and Usman Pano or a Bema. I don't want to go there. I mean, Charlie will feel will be feel you. That is how it is. Yes. Me soon near waka bring something so beyond to me. Budu mukrome Budu. They are gone. And no cook man say a man come on the man now they are there. Oba Ghana, horror for how, killers for Papatomune Biago, Omako Pebe Biashe, stop amo, Ukwa, worldwide mo, they are there, horrible people. Oba, the other side were Pacho, Abba Sadiki Awalamo, Cobra mo, Omo, and so Munate, Kobukum near there, people day, but Obia Teku, Obian Teku, Oya Hobema be bre Kujao. How do I say? Who them conform what Papa is who spend pass over them? There are people that are there in Nimoma, you don't know them. Yeah, Mumbisa Hope. Yeah, Mumbisa Hope. There are people I've seen Omusheba Pombo the respect per man. Oh yes. Patronim Satawal in the personal bodyguard. Unimno. Patronim personally. Unimno personally. One day Becca no wants him. Oh okay. What do you say? Yeah. Or no penalty to me page up or no quo to me the Sata Kobe to Nigeria. It be a program, no Janachi. On say video be by an Saturday chain, and she will become a no kissing. Or the one day, my body the actual. But to Mushia Lumana, with respect. Respect, man. What you say? Guy man, hey, people day, guy man, when they sign money now. But, or Matiku. Let's become Papa. To trust some son man or be a bear so force me pay a bear man and let's stop all these things. They are growing. Lawyer Morris and maybe our Papa man is catching. And it didn't mention to be Oluman Peka Crash. But Nippon also on Sikanti. So let's not find a way to where they call Sikani Morris and Pau. Papa Sikana was also 8 as a 4 hours as well. And the cars. Ode nyame adoma ochina kama memfro na menhia ona eja why billionaire die ode o ma me be $5,000 kwa me birthday ba me be kwa koto me mixer ba ko is me hia 1,600 me se me birthday me hia me mixer ne keke ma fato so ma me pese obi ma me pese me top mixer we hye nyame die ni munya amen Yamaha mixer no me birthday e be ti Dr. Morris Ampao me sro me paucho enye udo wo sika mpedede Tenya fe na be kasa wo sika na den den. Say wanom red o. Oh, de be ne de intimi kan pacho. Esre o. Nipa no chosa na no nya adwene. Ti Morris Ampao lawyer o de mesre. Hey Vida bless you. O de onya frɛ ya no ame abeti. Yes, I know all this personal bodyguard very well. Obi abetro Benis Botti. Ya minsha no. Papa. Na mpese me bonidi but me bonidi. Papa me pese yes wishing common kakra. Thank you. And I bibi kakra wa pese. Oh no. That is it for Morris Ampao. I don't know how we have addressed this issue, but I think he needs to cease fire, do what he does best, and let's move on. After all, political parties na age mama. Charlie, you can't promise us anything. And there's a kind of yes, I near Kazavi, the bet to us Wakobiano, and the back case. But I'm here because of Prophet Isaac Osman. But of course, Reverend Amo is somebody I respect. Makacho, he is not broke, he's not anybody's small boy. He works under the Despite administration and works for Prophet Isaac Osman. Very respectable, very astute, so blessed, anointed. No be okasa this can be good botu. Now but me first of all as an MCO program as when we go for okasa mo. No, let's not play like that. Ebia Uska, yes, but let's respect. You don't find rich men like Despite talking like this. No say Despite kasa say that. I rest my case.
Papa onyame bless you na onya okese papa to punch bi e wo honti no e de asida ni nia be manyankopon. Papa, there is one thing I've known you for. When it comes to social media and let's say Facebook particular, sometimes you will know about the drop a caption and I say prophetic, let me use the word prophetic comment and a caption or drop it. Now, it looks like just a caption.
Yes.
But in some few months, some few years, some few days, na manifestation happen. And sana nipe bi adwan kokko say de na prophet nana edubechi no opese wokan eni ana. Because there have been days cry original live so ashenkom ama insuo ato right after your prophecy, the time and the day you gave. Manifestation happen here. Me patron me share technical team no day. So screenshot be a me send omo fan to so na yen kan na
a few of them. Even with this NNN group, this is the first time I make a Saturday. I still have the video. I mean, I told them I want them beforehand. I had some people in that group that personally were calling me, Prophet, what is God saying? I'm scared. And I tell them God's intents and God's plans, and they know.
But yes,
there were some people in the group omunya bad dreams near there. They were calling us. They were talking to us about it. Saying, and when we prayed for them, we give them some directions. Let me say this. That lady, or comment is here now. She's somebody, I don't know who she is, but she has a third eye as well. There were a few people sometimes I'm more familiar. We normally have the same visions and the same dream at a particular point in time. And to make one time I had a vision. I mean, say group now near friend and some people came to apologize. Now it's oncophobia or mefimo masabe apologize. And it escalated and brought another problem, and it broke the whole group up. It destroyed everything. I still have the video to date. So I came out and I told them, look, there's something about to happen. There are some people coming to issue an apology. But more the charm we are, be where you are and stay where you are. Don't mingle with them. The reason being that you forget about the people you stood with, and it will bring about a disaster in future. And the Lord told me to tell them that they should guard their fortress. They should hold on to their lines, and they shouldn't allow anybody to penetrate. And yes, sir, can you imagine me making such shocking revelation? I think 2 days after, there was a program and some people went there, and there was an alliance say, no, we need peace, which was a very powerful and good thing. Everybody wants peace. But the connection that came afterwards brought the problem till now. When some of us were attacked, Papa was attacked, people like Tutu, and people were attacked and they all had to leave. This was a strong bond. I and Yankasaya Uncle Natina, who was the other end of the group. He's a male, so now N and N, no, he has to now also step aside. The reason being, say, God speaks, He reveals to redeem. There are some of us, by the grace of God, God is able to tell us some things that is before us, and we want others beforehand concerned about it. I answer one message social media. Because I knew it would happen at the point in time. I knew so it would happen. It was not anybody that is behind it or comment as or supporting the female side. They all come to a self-actualization one day. When him say God has time, our the baby and the our the be any penny. Say obeying your revelation now. You might think that the person is doing too much. But when your revelation you actually understand what is going on at a point in time. So you know your left from your right. God speaks to people.
That's true.
And I'm almost Sunday posting it to OBM. They should have zoomed it. This was on October 16th.
Papa, me person me read the post no.
Yeah, October 16th.
Na minja bibia wom.
Fatu on, move on to
Or say there is a serious trouble coming. I heard and saw it clearly. A Dutch place, comma, men and women mourns. This is sad. Can't be too specific. But we will hear it. When then
it
will be more of a media issue than a national issue.
This time. This was when before
on the 16th of October.
Yes, na Makasafa Christian Achu. I don't want to talk about it, but I saw this thing clearly. The reason why I can't say a national issue, a political issue, but this time a media issue, and say they were saying for to social media when they were crying. Now, Obio want me 31st night media dancers. I told them, so this year we have to be careful with people that work with radio stations and bloggers. They are there. You can ask them. Every church member of mine, later say there is this serious dirge that is playing, and it's in the area of death.
Yes.
And we have to be very careful. I spoke about the power of witchcraft. You might used to have the post. I gave them, it was a prophecy itself I spoke about witchcraft, because I said this year, many of these things are going to be happening. Witchcraft will be exposed in broad daylight. People will see it, because I saw in a very big market, witchcraft activities. And I can't say, Obia Obakus could be a bompai mano. Into me, a funny post credit, but people thought I was only joking. I was talking about the exposition of Delilah and Jezebel. In 2025, a year of vindication. Because the Lord told me, say, to all the things that people have been through, the truth will come out. They'll be vindicated. Some will still decide to stand with the lie, but a more cup of tea that they have to suck it. But you must say, you know, me did post in it to another picture be a drachin or dying so. And go for here. But now me person me say, yeah, the activity of witchcraft and of Jezebel will come to an end. And from now to the end of the year, it will be intense. God said He's cutting away sorcery and witchcraft from the internet because the manipulation was too high. Yes, I saw the liberation of men, and I saw that sons will be liberated from the hands of Jezebel and witchcraft, because God will have to bring us back to divine alignment, whereby we'll lift up His kingdom and begin to speak more of the things of the kingdom. It is our post. It was in the date was January 9th. You ran New Year anymore, January 9th. Now go for visa media. And I never making that. You can go back to my page and go and check it's there. You can't backdate anything. Me, if I've said. If I've not seen, I've not seen. And check the video of Obiana a drachin or dying so and not dying so.
And recently, upon Chimio on Nam electric pools.
From Baba.
I think they are playing the video right now.
I can see. I'm police measure. Oh, yeah. Who free for the buy?
Year of divine.
Who free for the buy?
What they are so more.
Okay, but who free for the buy?
Hijacking for spiritually. The spouse.
Who free for the buy?
It has to break, because when you're meaning dainty or mass and money nurse. I don't watch on or say everything happens as you said. This lady, people shouldn't play with, because or can be me personally. Let me feel so with the girl. When I prayed into the Lord, said what she's saying is true. It's true, and I realized she has a powerful third eye. She almost social media. Don't play with people. Don't play with everybody. We have gotten through many things, and we have gotten closer to the saints, and we have gotten closer to the witches. So you know what you are talking about. We'll be to be for one, I do not can be, and when I say no, this is witchcraft, full witchcraft activity. nipa no boo beba you don't understand. It is so be aka say so for ohima bi say na ne ji papa hu na senka ono benya papa de senka mewe ba de. You understand? You see nipa ne kasa asem na onye smart times mewe ma de ne de. Yes, so and you may be see but you can't be. You see, you have to be spiritually inclined. There is a dark side of this media thing. And go for so in order to destroy people and to kill them. So you have to be very careful. What does it mean? So be so penny the you know, for somebody to make a statement that is so profound, say, me, if you play with me around Dennis, you will go and leave me. Yes, and the person has his basics. Maybe an nice and then the friend cast over to Boa, no than a 9 day. Is so. I told you, maybe because of Facebook, I'm also blaming Crawford. Don't blame people like that. Sometimes, open your third eye and look at things in the realms of the spirit. And you watch it very well. You realize that there's a problem somewhere. To Nyameka Assembly on October 16th, right? Yes. So there's a dirge playing, and that dirge is supposed to be a media thing, and everybody will hear it. Everybody,
Papa, now you say, "Sap caption my grandbasso until the demise of our brother Adrian."
Oh, Charlie.
Yama ebusian for ni ya.
When him say, "Na me Jindio until say." Apia Stadium, Ebe Kasafao, and on one sister. Na Yebeme Bushiafun na yako. Sabi ifunu nifo. And we say, Kofua can send be bree. I mean, because of this blogging work, Ebinima Yenyama be bree. But let's all temper justice with mercy. Because Obinim do be back a minute before we and let's live our life. There are some videos I want us to watch.
Me pacho yemba mbedi ni woni ho fell, but ye pese papa ejina so na odi edu